Good morning, everyone. It is time for the Leaning In with Ann Walk and Talk. Something I do every single day, weekday. I'm on Facebook, and I am welcoming you to your day. All right, our loving behavior today. Ready? Oh my gosh, this one's loaded. It is. Be open to listening to what others want without feeling like you have to do anything about it. Now, is that not against every ounce of our programming? Let's say it again. Be open to listening to what other people want without feeling like you have to do anything about it. Now, that's easy when it's people who are not in your space and people who don't expect you to do anything about it, right? That's easy. Okay, this is where the hang-ups come from. You've done it to your own kids. Your parents did it to you. Are you ready? I want you to go upstairs and get your teeth brushed. Are you listening to me? You need to be a good listener. You need to go upstairs. I want you to go upstairs and get your teeth brushed right now. Okay? Listening and obedience are kind of interwoven. Have you ever heard, you are not a good listener? You are not doing what I asked you to do. You are not being a good listener. Whew. So we get this idea that if we actually say something to someone, then they need to show that they are listening by doing what we've asked. Okay, why does that hijack us, guys? It's because okay, let's go through the loving behavior. If I get clear on what I want, I ask for what I want, I tell the truth about what I want, I'm really clear about what I expect everybody else to do. I'm really clear about what other people expect from me. I clear up any kind of maybe disconnections and negotiations that need to happen so that, I'm in agreement, somebody else is in agreement, especially if I find out that I can't keep it. I honor what I'm feeling about a certain thing to myself and then to others. And now all of that is in place. And I'm supposed to listen and not do anything about it. Yes, that is the truth. Why? Because of step 2. Ask for exactly what you want. Just expressing is not asking. So if somebody is expressing what they want from you, you listen and you go, so what you want is for me to send $2,000 to you tomorrow because you need this thing. And that's what you want. Yes, that's what I want. So when somebody is emotionally immature, they believe that because they expressed it, that somehow contracts you to do it. Well, what if said $2,000 is ridiculous? What if you don't feel good about that because there are other things that need to be taken care of, or it seems like too much money? Let's just bring that on down. Let's say it's $200. I really, really want this. I want $200. And you want to do anything and everything in your power to get that money to that person. So now you're sacrificing yourself, your wants, your desires, the things that you are going to do for the other person. And it may not have been the most loving thing to do. It could not have anything to do with money. It was funny, there was a thing that happened last night. I was in my office quite late. I got out right about 9:30-ish, came and sat down about 9:45. Tom and I have been watching a show every night. It's really, really great. And so I was looking forward to spending that time and watching the show, and he was exhausted, tired, done, didn't feel well. And so what I wanted was to watch the show. What he wanted was to go upstairs and go to bed, and usually we go to bed together. And when he said, I feel like I'm going to go up, I had a reaction. Ugh. He took that as he needs to stay downstairs. And what I was feeling was disappointment because I wanted to spend some time. I didn't expect Tom to stay downstairs with me when he's not feeling very good. And I was okay with being disappointed and him not doing anything about that disappointment. Why? Because I looked at the disappointment and go, oh, I'm disappointed. I really actually probably should have gotten out of the office a little sooner than that. What do I want to do? What I love, because I do this, check in, would I love to go upstairs, spend some time? Or would I love to stay downstairs and get some other things kind of done? I was writing in my journal at the time. And by Tom's reaction, he felt bad that he couldn't stay downstairs with me. I did not feel bad that I wasn't going upstairs with him immediately. Why? Because I was choosing what did I want, what felt the best to me. In the end, Tom went upstairs, fell asleep. I came up about 10 minutes later, went to sleep early. I feel fantastic today because I had a lot of sleep. Always check in. Is that what I would love? Here's where we get really hung up with this one, is if you believe that just because you've said something means that the other person has to do what you say you want to prove that they love you. That is never, ever, ever good. Never, never, ever. There is nobody else who can love you like you can love you. So if you notice, I didn't have Tom stay with me to watch a show to prove that his sacrifice equaled loving me. I already know he loves me. And he said he wasn't feeling well. Now he could have been upset, I'm not feeling well. I want you to come upstairs so that you can prove to me that you love me. Because you've been in the office the whole time and you haven't even been around me. So that proves to me that you don't love me. None of that is true. So we're going to say this again. Listen. So I could hear he's going upstairs and me shut down, not be open, be frustrated. I go, well, I just got here. I mean, this is what we do every night. We watch the show together. Like, what do you mean you're going upstairs? Why? Because I wasn't open to listening to what was happening. He wasn't feeling well. So, what's really hard is when somebody expects you to do it, whatever they're asking for, whatever they want. Sometimes they don't even ask. Whatever they want, they expect you to do it just because they have expressed something to you. And if you have any kind of PTSD and you have a fawning response, this is where it shows up. Right here. This right here is where it shows up. I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm whatever. Oh, let me take care of that. What do you need? Let me take care of that. When you may have already decided something that you wanted to do. You have the right to choose that. What it's saying here is remain open and take the time to consider what you want to do. Or, better yet, don't feel like you have anything to do with it because what you want to do to fix it may not be the best thing for them. it may not even be what they want. We had a rule in our house. We had a policeman in our house when he was little. He's the oldest, so that's what happens with oldest, is they police everybody. And he would get frustrated with the way everybody was doing things, and so then he'd take over and just do it, and he'd get very frustrated. And then they'd scream and yell because they wanted to do it themselves, but they weren't doing it good enough, so he would take over, and it was a big thing. And one of the things that I started to try to teach the kids is, look, help isn't help unless it's asked for. So I'm going to say that again. I want you to consider this. Help is not help unless it's asked for. So somebody could be expressing something, and you could impulsively jump to help them with whatever they need. And it's actually not what they need because they never expressed a desire for you to get in. That messes up a lot of relationships, y'all. Because what happens is, if you jump in to help what you can see needs to be done, and it wasn't what somebody else wanted, then you feel very unappreciated because you did a thing and they don't even see all the things that you're doing for them. Like you're doing and you're doing and you're doing. Have you ever had that situation? They're loving all over you. They're trying, but you didn't ask for the help. Sometimes you just need to just share what's going on and what you want. Sometimes it's like, and I don't need you to do anything about it. I just need to get it out there so I can get clear. So I would love some questions from you guys. What's the hardest thing about listening and remaining open and listening without feeling like you have to do anything about it? It's a conditioned response, right? Does it show that you're not listening? Does it show that you're not loving? If that's the case, I really would love for you to look around today. What are the ways to do this? Let's go back to being Tom for a minute. So, he wanted to go upstairs. I wanted to stay downstairs and watch a movie with him, or a show with him. He expressed what he wanted. I'm going to go upstairs. I expressed what I wanted. I'm going to stay downstairs, maybe. I don't know yet. What neither one of us did was ask the other whether or not they wanted to join. I said, you go ahead and go. I'm fine. I'm not upset. Tom said, you can stay down here if you want. I'm just going to go up. It was so great. Now, we could have totally instead said, well, are you willing to watch one show? Like, can you handle it? Just kind of one show and then we can go up together. Or he could say, hey, I'd love for you to just come up and we can talk upstairs for a little bit. Because really what we both wanted was time together. We could have asked each other and said, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? That's why it's loving, because it's communication. So if somebody says what they want, here's the skill set. Are you ready? Here's the skill set. You have to sit and be present and listen long enough to hear what they want without going into your own stuff, recognizing what you're feeling, and then say, okay, so what I heard you say is you're not feeling good and you want to go to bed right now. But what I really heard you say is, and you don't want to spend time with me. That could be a thing, right? Like the excuse, I come in, you leave, we pass in the night, and so what I'm actually hearing you say is you don't want to spend any time with me. Is that true? Saying what I heard you say was, and checking in is really important. It could be, Okay, so what I heard you say was you really want this and you need about $200 for that. And that what I really heard you say is that you want me to give you the $200. Is that correct? Because if somebody's just saying, I need $200 for this thing, because they're just saying what they want, doesn't mean you have to respond. They can say, yeah, I do. I want the $200. You know, when can you get it to me by? Take a deep breath. Does that work with the whole thing? What if they're an addict? I hear that you need $200, and I am hearing that you want me to provide you with that. Is that correct? Yes, that's correct. Okay. I don't feel good about giving you the $200. So if you need that, how about we brainstorm other ways? So they're probably going to get really, really, really mad at you. What do you mean you won't give it to me? I don't want to have to work for the $200. Well, if they're addicted to something, wouldn't that be the best way to say, well, if you want this, it might be a good idea for you to figure out another way. So I just want you to see that this is part of you telling the truth about what you want and allowing others to tell the truth about what they want. If we are always trying to jump in and prove that we love, we're not letting people live. We might be getting in their business. We might be doing things that they don't even want us to do. If we believe that just because we say something, people have got to jump in and do what we want, then we're controlling them. No, there's not actual loving conversation behavior about that. So today, your job is to do two things. Number one, watch yourself. When somebody tells you what they want, see if your brain immediately goes to how you are going to fix it. And if that's what you're doing, one of two things. Pause and just kind of sit there. So what I hear you say is you want this. Thanks for sharing that with me without doing anything. Or you can say, would you like me to do anything about that? Would you like me to do anything about it? What would you love for me to do? So if somebody tells you something that they want and you're willing, say, how can I help? Let them tell you. But I would love for most of you who jump on this bandwagon too quick and you fawn to just suspend and listen to them and not offer to help. It's going to feel so uncomfortable in your body because it's rewriting a pattern, and it's a really, really healthy pattern. Okay, because if you can do that, then when somebody doesn't respond to you, you don't judge the fact that you are not lovable. You just go, oh, it's actually not their responsibility to take care of this. Huh. Now, because we've got such a disparity, me and Tom, about camping. I love to camp. I want to camp. He doesn't want to camp. What can happen now is if any of my friends ever want to go camping and they invite me, I can say, hey, Tom, I'm going to do what I want. I'm so excited. I'm going to go camping. See you later, babe. Without feeling awful that he did something against me or he never wants to join me. That has caused so much contention in our relationship. Not just the camping, but other things like that. I have the right to be a complete individual. He has the right to be a complete individual with all of his needs and wants, and he has that right. And then we have this place of us. What do we do together to feel like a couple? Right now we're watching the show together. And that is awesome. So I hope that helped. If you have any questions, if you have any buts, please share. Please, please, please share. Okay, that's it. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you.